And I recently got Copilot, so I'm going to walk you through some of the basic things you can do with Copilot in Visual Studio Code. To start off, I'm just going to create some new Flask API endpoints using the Github Copilot chat extension. So I just type in exactly what I want. The more specific you get, the more accurate response you'll get in terms of what is generated. It goes ahead and generates that proposed structure, and you can create the workspace from that if you think that that is what you'd like. You can see my app.py file has an app route, which is my main endpoint that's going to return hello when I run this Flask API. You can see I'm missing a few extensions, so Visual Studio is prompting me to install those. I find Visual Studio Code is quite good for general development, as it supports a lot of languages and has a lot of great extensions. You can see it's giving me this error, can't find main. I can see that right there, if name equals main. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to try and run it once again using that Flask Python debugger. Hopefully that will just make it work a bit more better. You can see it's got a different error now, no module named Flask. That's because Flask is a dependency I'm going to need to install. You can use Conda or pip. I tend to just use pip. For me it's pip free, so I need to remember to do pip free, and I'll go ahead and install Flask. You can see that error's gone away, and I can go ahead and try and run it again. You can see that it now says it's running on localhost port 5000, so if I navigate there, I should see hello, and you can see that there. So my Flask API endpoint is there. I want to test what else I can do with Copilot, so I'm going to go ahead and open up that chat extension again. And I'm going to just ask it to tell me what the code would be for a different endpoint that might take in a parameter. You can ask it really specific questions. You can ask it about code you have highlighted and get it to explain what's going on with the code. So I think it can be quite useful, especially if you're a new developer. My husband recently got into software development, and he's found he was able to pick up quite quickly due to how good the different AI tools are now. So you can see it's generated me some code. I can copy that in. I'm going to change this route as well. I want to have it be at the same route, but it's going to be a generic response, whereas my other one will take in a name parameter and greet the person by their name. So now I'm running this again. Oh, and it's already still running, so I'm going to need to stop that first. Then I can rerun. Heading back over to the browser, if I go to /greet, it says hello, which is what I'm expecting, and if I supply a name, then it should greet the person by their name. That's my name there. You can see it's reflecting whatever I put in the parameter. There are a few other cool things you can do with Copilot. You can actually get it to help you generate tests so that you've got tests for your code, and you can it has some autofill suggestions. So it's suggesting what comment I might want to write for my different endpoints. And it can be just generally quite good at suggesting things that might be likely things that you might type, and help reduce the time you need to spend looking up how to write certain pieces of code. I'm just going to go ahead and generate some tests for this app.py file. And create a new file, app_test.py. You can use that little shortcut to move it into the current file, wherever your cursor is. And then I'm just checking how to run those tests. It gives me a little response of how to run these tests. So in my terminal, I'm just closing out that server, and I'm going to run the tests. Once again, Python free. So running that, it tells me that the tests were run and they were okay. I'm just going to show you what would happen if it failed. So I'm going to change one of my asserts to something that it wouldn't actually be. So say, pretend I was expecting hello ! And had coded it wrong. Then it says it's failed, and it gives a bit more reason as to why it's failed. And from there you can figure out what's gone wrong in your code. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial today. If you have, please like and subscribe for more content.